Raydon, true to the vision. For all branches of the U.S. military, the timely acquisition and distribution of modern training technologies is critical to success on the battlefield. However, the current business model being utilized by the U.S. government does leave considerable room for improvement.
With technology moving so fast today and needing to get new systems out there that can respond to a very adaptive and flexible enemy that's developing new techniques all the time, you need something that is a lot more flexible.
One of the difficult aspects of the current acquisition system is warfighters believe that when we are buying equipment, it is often going to be the only equipment that's bought for 15 years. So they try to anticipate every kind of capability and every kind of need that they're going to need over the next 15 years. The problem is that doesn't recognize that some of those requirements may be very expensive to deliver today, where 2 or 3 years from now, as technology evolves, it becomes much more affordable.
To address this need for a modernized system, the Raydon Corporation patterned itself after the service evolution of business-to-business technology providers. Take the Xerox company, for example. During their first stage of business, the customer purchased and supported his or her own equipment. The next phase granted the customer with increased flexibility to rent equipment with a maintenance contract. The final step in the evolution resulted in a totally new model, where the end user was able to purchase the service on an as-needed basis, thereby paying for capability, not product. This model is most effective, since it allows a technology developer to institute rapid changes that are needed, and quickly update products that are already fielded.
The Guard has seen the capability, has turned that capability by saying, we want it, I don't have enough money to own it, I don't need to own it, I need to have it for specific periods of my collective training.
For Raydon, the success of the Virtual Combat Convoy Trainer, or VCCT, nails this point home. This 360-degree spherical field of vision simulator provides cutting-edge, geographically accurate training to members of the Army and Marines at a time when it is needed most.
If you have a short-term alert for a deployment area, a unit commander could get this convoy training device, ship it to his location, and literally overnight start training for the emergency deployment. Great savings for his time, great for his leaders to feel comfortable with the deployment area they're going into, and more importantly, the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines feel their unit commanders are taking care of them getting ready for combat.
To illustrate further how this model of business can provide the latest advancements in an accelerated timeline, take a look at Raydon's latest development, the Virtual Door Gunner Trainer. The VDGT is the only fielded helicopter simulation technology that provides realistic door gunnery and crew coordination training for UH-60 Blackhawk, CH-47 Chinook, and UH-1 Huey crew chiefs and pilots. This new simulator can quickly be networked to the VCCT and the Army's AVCAT trainers for more complex and realistic missions to provide superior training opportunities to a larger number of troops. The ultimate goal of this new business methodology is threefold: to reduce the cost of training, to shorten the time it takes a soldier to acquire a skill, and finally, to improve skill retention and reduce refresher training frequency.
I've spent a lot of time in the research, development, acquisition process in the Marine Corps, and it is by nature a slow, cumbersome process, and there are some good reasons for that. There are ways to speed that process along. You can go to a GSA schedule, either rent or buy something that is current off the shelf. Even better if you can rent it, because then you can maintain it up to date all the time.
If this new method of business were to be more widely implemented in the near future, it would have an instant impact on training for Iraq and Afghanistan. Also, the realized cost savings would allow for a greater amount of troops to receive training.
I think this model will have considerable savings for the Department of Defense. It allows a commander to look at his training schedule, and if he only needs a training device for, say, 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months, he can rent it for that period of time. What that gives him cost avoidance for is all the warehousing, all the maintenance, all the product improvements he has to go through later on.
The key factors that come into this is not only the cost avoidance there is of not owning a piece of equipment, but also in maintaining the interest of the soldier. And if you maintain the interest of the soldier, you have a key retention factor that you can't buy any other way.
One of the most significant benefits of this model of business is that it places the full financial risk on the shoulders of private business instead of the U.S. military.
Companies are all actively competing to get every dollar, every day, and provide the warfighter the best capability. That is the definition of capitalistic competition. Instead of competing once every 4 or 5 years to secure a 4 or 5 year monopoly, we are forced to compete every day, every hour. If a company fails to deliver, they will be replaced, or the capability will be replaced by one of the competitors that are out there. If none of the competitors can provide it, then there is, in what we would classically call a demand market, that requires all of us to increase the capability, and we will rapidly respond to fill that demand.
When the full risk of product development is placed on the shoulders of private industry, there will be an even greater demand to collaborate with the warfighter, which will yield superior training results.
You need to have the people who have actually been there on the ground, who've seen what's going on, and who can feed that information back. The geography, the terrain, the special tactics and techniques, especially as they evolve and change over time. If you're in a rental agreement, then that is part of the contract, and updates will automatically happen based on that feedback.
Another benefit of this business model is the positive way that intelligent governmental spending will be perceived by the public and the troops themselves.
We have a responsibility in the military to do the best we can, providing equipment, training, and leadership to our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marine that are in harm's way. We want to be sure that they can go, fight, win, and come home alive. That's very important to not only the military, but certainly to the American people and the mothers and fathers of America. But we also have a responsibility to do that as cost-effective as we can. Cost effectiveness is not the primary consideration, but it's got to be a consideration. We have to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. There's a limited amount of that money, and the better we are as stewards of that money, the more equipment we can buy, the more training we can buy, the better we can make sure that our military is prepared and ready to do their mission.
For more information, please visit our website at www.raydon.com or call us at 386-267-2936. This has been a Creative Force Video Productions presentation.